Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to build this simple digital clock using HTML, CSS and plain JavaScript. If this is your first time watching, my name is Yusman. I'm a web developer and I make tutorials about web development topics. If you want to level up your coding skills, I recommend you to subscribe to my channel. Without losing time, let's open VS Code and start creating this project from scratch. Alright, we have VS Code opened on the left side and the browser on the right side. And the first thing that I will create now will be an index.html file. I will also create a style.css file and also a script.js file where we'll write all of our JavaScript logic. Inside the index.html file, I'll create my document. I'll say JavaScript digital clock. Okay. And here inside the body, we will include our script. So I'm going to say script source equals script.js. And we will have one div which will display the clock information. So I'm going to give this div also an ID of digital-clock face. And this will be our HTML. We'll also link the CSS file and later on we will style it. But for now, we will begin directly with writing our script. All right, so what we will write as JavaScript logic here will be the following. We will have a function which will be called display time, and that will be a simple arrow function. And let's say every second we will invoke that function to update the time. And the way to achieve that will be using a setInterval function. And the setInterval function accepts a handler, which will be this function that I just created, and timeout. The timeout is the time after which it will invoke this function again and again. So in our case, every 1 second, this function will be invoked. To demonstrate you that, I can say console log function invoked, and I can save it and open this with live server. So I'm going to open this with live server and it will appear right here. But I already have a browser, so I don't need this one, and I will paste it right here in this browser. And what I will do, I will open the console right here, and you can see function invoked, function invoked, function invoked, and function invoked every 1 second. This is what setInterval is doing. However, right now we have to begin writing some logic that will get the time, get the hours, get the seconds, get the minutes. And the way to achieve this will be by creating couple of variables that will store that information. So to start with, we'll say let hours equal to, and that's going to be something from the date constructor object. But we have to create that date constructor object by just saying const date equals new date. This is built in JavaScript and it returns you a lot of stuff. For example, I can just type here date.getHours, and this will return the hours in a date using local time. If we want to check that, we can say console log hours right here and open our developer tools again, inspect the document, and we can see 11 because right now in my location is 11:45 and I see 11 o'clock. Great. Let's continue. Make this smaller and continue. Now, we have the hours. Let's create another variable for the minutes. So I'm going to say let minutes equals date.get minutes, and another one for the seconds. So I'm going to say let seconds equals date.get seconds. Okay. Now, after we have that, we'll also need to create one more additional variable, and I'll call this let session. And that's going to be AM by default. And later on, I will show you how to make it PM and when to make it PM. Now, when we have this, we are ready to do something else. We can target the div that we created in the HTML and we can populate it with that time. So I'm gonna say const container equals document.getElement by ID, and I'm gonna copy the ID that I assigned here to this div. So I'm gonna target this div directly, and I will say something like container inner HTML to equal something. For now it's going to be empty string, but before we need to create the time. So I'm going to say it can be a const also, const time, because it's not going to change. Those will change, they will be reassigned, but we will never change the time. So I can say const time equals I'm going to say hours plus, then plus again hours plus, here we will have the minutes, so minutes plus, again we have this divider, and then we're gonna say seconds plus an empty space, and then we will append the session at the end. Okay, and now here, instead of giving this an empty string value, we can just say time. So container inner HTML to be time. If I save, we will see the clock appeared right here in our browser, and I see the time, it's 11:47 and 48 and 3 seconds. But we see a problem right here. We should see a 0 before the 6 and 8 or 9. So everything before 10, we need to append a 0 in the beginning. And the way we can do this is by directly reassigning hours, minutes, and seconds a new value. So what I mean here is the following. I can say hours equal to, and then I can check if hours are less than 10. If that's the case, I want to say 0, 0 plus the hours, else I just want to display the current hour. And the same will apply for the minutes and the seconds and the, yeah, so I'm gonna say minutes right here, that's gonna be minutes, minutes, and minutes. And there's a shortcut. If you press Command and D in VS Code, you can target all of those and you can just say seconds, just like this. And now if we save and wait a little bit, you should be able to see 0 when the seconds are 1, 2, 3, or 5, again up to 9, up to 10. And we're done basically with the JavaScript. It's very simple. This is your function. It's 21 lines of code. I can style this a little bit to make it prettier, so I will make a basic reset here. I'm gonna say box sizing to be border box, padding to be 0, margin to be 0, and then for the body width of 100%, height of 100 VH, display flex, align the items in the center, justify the content in the center, background color black, color of the text to be white, font weight to be 500, font size to be 100 pixels, bam, save, and we can see our new output in the browser. Cool. And we can also give the div with the ID of digital clock face a border of 7 pixels, solid red. Cool. And a little bit of padding inside, so I'm gonna say 10 pixels padding. That's it for the styling. Let's also do the trick with changing this AM to PM. So when you have to change this, technically when the hour is greater than 12. We know that if it's after 12, it becomes PM. So to do this, we will just check if the hours are greater than 12, then we are going to reassign this session variable that we created to be PM. And when your local time becomes 1 o'clock, then you will see PM at the end. That was it, guys, for today. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you like such content, I prompt you again to subscribe to the channel. Thank you once again for watching this video, and I see you again in the future.